Morning sunlight spilled into the hospital room, soft and golden. Taehyung's eyes were half open now, heavy but aware. He didn't say a word, just lay there quietly, watching. Won stirred awake, and when her eyes landed on him, she gasped, Taehyung, you're awake. Taehyung's throat burned with words, but none came out. He simply looked at her, eyes glistening, and let her love wash over him. His hand twitched weakly, enough to hold her fingers. Won broke down further, hugging him gently, afraid of hurting him. I love you, KIMTAEHYUNG. You're mine, not theirs, mine. Mr. Lee, standing silently by the window, smiled faintly at the scene. His heart softened. His daughter wasn't just angry, she was deeply in love. And maybe, just maybe, this moment would finally make Taehyung open his eyes to who really stood by him. Taehyung didn't reply, not yet, but his silence wasn't cold anymore. It was thoughtful, heavy with realization. His tears did the talking. Minji chimed in sweetly, Appa, how will you manage with just Sil? You need us around. Yn's jaw tightened, ready to snap, but Taehyung raised a weak hand. His voice was low but steady. No. I'll go with Yn. The room froze. He turned his face toward his family. You're all busy with your own lives. She will take care of me. She already has. Minji blinked rapidly, fake tears starting. Appa, how can you say that? But Taehyung cut her off with a shrug, his expression unreadable. It's not an insult. It's just the truth. You have your priorities, and right now, mine is my wife. Yn's eyes widened, her heart squeezing. Mrs. Kim fumbled with her dapata, forcing a pout. But we'll feel so left out, son. We're only thinking for your good. Taehyung closed his eyes, too tired for their performance. Please, I've decided. There was a flicker, a split second of relief across their faces. Minji and Jihu exchanged a glance, and even Mr. Kim muttered under his breath, thank God. Less expense for us, but when they noticed Yn watching sharply, they quickly masked it with fake hesitation, clinging onto the act. Mrs. Kim pressed a hand to her chest, if that's what you want. We won't stop you. Yn smirked slightly, leaning closer to Tae, her arm around his shoulders. Good, because he's coming home with me. For once, Taehyung didn't defend them. He didn't argue with Yn. He simply let himself lean into her, closing his eyes, a silent declaration of where he belonged. The Kim household was no longer the same. Mrs. Kim slammed the cupboard shut. How are we supposed to manage without Taehyung's money? Minji groaned, tossing her phone aside. Appa is being selfish. He knows I have needs. How am I supposed to buy essentials? Essentials, Jihu scoffed. Your skincare is not an essential. And what about you? Minji snapped. Hanging out with your friends every day. Where's that money coming from now? Their voices rose, clashing in the living room. Even Mr. Kim, usually calm, was red with frustration. Enough, fighting won't bring his salary back. We need a solution. Meanwhile, in the cozy new house, things were quiet, almost too quiet. Wyan placed a tray of soup and medicine on the bedside table. Tae, it's time. You need to eat before the medicine. He obeyed silently, sipping slowly, his eyes distant. Not once did he complain about the taste or tease her like he usually did. At first, Wyan thought he was just weak from the accident. But as days passed, she began to notice the difference. His body was healing, but his silence wasn't. That evening, she sat beside him, holding his hand. Taehyung, what's going on? You've been so quiet. At first, I thought it was the pain, but now I feel like it's something else. He looked at her, his gaze heavy, lips parting as if to speak, then shutting again. Wyan's heart clenched. For the first time, she felt like she was staring at a man carrying a storm inside, and she didn't know if he would let her in. The phone buzzed on the coffee table. Wyan glanced at the screen, her brows furrowing when she saw the name, Yuri Jung-hoon's wife. She almost ignored it, but curiosity got the better of her. She swiped to answer, hello. On the other end came a choked, tearful voice. Sil, it's me. I don't know what to do anymore. The kids need milk, school fees are due, rent is piling up. Jung-hoon is trying, but she sniffled dramatically. We're drowning. Please, can you send something? Anything. In froze, her knuckles whitening around the phone. Slowly, her lips curved into a bitter smile. Yuri. Tell me one thing, Wyan said, her tone calm but sharp like a knife. When you and your husband happily depended on my Taehyung's salary for years, did you ever once think about what he needed? His clothes, his savings, his life? Sil, please, Yuri tried to cut in, but Wyan's voice rose, dripping with fury. No, enough. I've watched you people leech off him like he's nothing but a money-making machine. And now, when he's lying in bed, healing from an accident, you still have the audacity to call me and demand money. The line went silent. Wyan's anger spilled out, her voice shaking. Do you know what your so-called appa is wearing right now? Shirts over a year old, shoes that should have been replaced months ago. Because every time I bought him something, your precious mother-in-law would gift it to your husband, to Jung-hoon. Yuri stammered, so I didn't mean save it. Wyan snapped. I'm done financing your luxuries under the name of family responsibility. From now on, look at your own husband for expenses. Because my Taehyung isn't your provider anymore, he's mine. And he'll only live for himself, me, and our son. With that, In hung up, her chest heaving, hands trembling with rage. She turned to see Taehyung watching her quietly from the bed, eyes glistening. For once, he wasn't upset at her bluntness. He looked relieved. A few days later, Wyan returned home carrying shopping bags. She set them on the bed where Taehyung was sitting up, a book forgotten in his lap. He frowned. What's all this? Wyan pulled out neatly folded shirts, new pants, shoes, even a soft jacket. She placed them one by one beside him. Clothes for you. You've been wearing the same things for too long. Taehyung's eyes widened. He touched the fabric gently, his throat tightening. You bought all this from your salary. Wyan smiled softly, brushing his hair back from his forehead. Yes, with my bonus. Don't worry about the cost. You deserve to have things that are yours, not things stolen from you. Her words hit him like a punch to the chest. Taehyung's lips trembled, and before he could stop himself, he grabbed her wrist and pulled her into a tight embrace. Wyan, his voice broke, a sob escaping. I loved them. I gave them everything I had. How? How could they be so mean to me? Wyan froze at first, then her own eyes watered as she felt his tears soak her shoulder. They were supposed to care for me too, right? Tae cried, sounding more like a lost boy than a grown man. But I was just money to them. His grip tightened desperately. Was I so worthless without it? In's heart shattered. She wrapped her arms around him, kissing his temple again and again. No, Tae, You're not worthless. You're my everything, and Tae was everything. Don't you ever think otherwise. He buried his face against her neck, trembling. I don't know what to do. It hurts. YN, it hurts so much. She held him tighter, rocking him gently like he was her second child instead of her husband. Then let me carry the hurt with you. You're not alone anymore. For the first time, Taehyung let it all out, the anger, the betrayal, the heartbreak. And YN stayed strong and steady, giving him the love his own family never had.